When news broke that something disturbing was found inside Jason Momoa's mansion, fans all around the world couldn't believe their ears. Jason Momoa, known for his wild charm, love for nature, and powerful roles like Aquaman and Khal Drogo, has always been seen as a man deeply connected to the earth and his Hawaiian roots. His home, according to interviews, was meant to be a private paradise, a peaceful escape surrounded by nature, filled with handmade wooden furniture, art from his travels, and open spaces that reflect his free spirit. But what investigators and insiders claim they found hidden deep within the mansion's private rooms was anything but peaceful. Rumors began to swirl online, hinting that the actor's property held a side of him the public had never seen before. People wanted to know, what could possibly be so disturbing that even close friends refused to talk about it? Was it something mysterious? Or something dark from his past that had come back to light? The answers, as it turned out, were far more unsettling than anyone could have guessed. To understand the shock of this discovery, you first have to understand Jason Momoa's private life. Unlike many Hollywood stars, Jason doesn't spend his days showing off on social media. He's known to live far away from the chaos of Los Angeles, preferring quiet places where he can build motorcycles, play guitar, and spend time outdoors. His home is said to be a blend of rustic design and eco-friendly architecture, solar panels, reclaimed wood, and natural stone everywhere. He even once said that his dream house would feel like it was carved out of the earth. That's why it was such a surprise when reports came out about a secret area of the house that wasn't on any of the official blueprints. The discovery of a hidden space immediately raised questions. What was he hiding? Was it just a private room for his art or projects or something stranger? The fact that even his closest workers had never seen that part of the mansion made the situation even more mysterious. It all started when a renovation team was hired to work on the property while Momoa was away filming. According to one of the workers, they stumbled upon a sealed-off section behind a thick wooden wall in the basement. The structure looked newer than the rest of the house, which caught their attention. When they carefully removed the boards, they uncovered a narrow tunnel leading to a hidden chamber. Inside were strange items, old photos, sculptures made of metal and bone, and walls covered with tribal markings that looked hand-carved. Some said it looked like an art project, while others claimed it felt like something more ritualistic. There were even reports of animal skulls arranged in patterns, giving the space an eerie, almost spiritual energy. When the story leaked, fans were quick to defend Momoa, saying that as someone deeply interested in Polynesian history and traditional culture, these could be part of his heritage-inspired art. Still, others couldn't shake the feeling that there was something far more unusual about what was discovered there. When the photos of the hidden chamber began to circulate online, Jason Momoa's team was quick to respond. They explained that the room was actually part of a personal art project that Momoa had been working on for years. He has often spoken about his love for carving, sculpting, and creating art inspired by ancient cultures. The items inside the room, according to his spokesperson, represented his personal spiritual journey, symbols of protection, nature, and rebirth. However, not everyone was convinced. Some people who saw the images claimed that certain carvings and figures resembled symbols used in dark rituals, not traditional Polynesian art. Internet theories exploded overnight. Some said it was just a misunderstood art installation, while others believed it was connected to secret societies or ancient myths. The line between art and mystery quickly blurred, and the disturbing discovery inside Momoa's mansion became one of the most talked about Hollywood stories of the year. Jason Momoa has always been a man of depth. He's emotional, passionate, and strongly connected to his roots. Friends and co-stars often describe him as someone who feels things deeply and expresses himself through creation. From his tattoos to his handmade jewelry, everything he wears carries meaning. So when it came to the secret room, some of his supporters said it was just an extension of his personality, a private place where he could express his soul away from the spotlight. But the timing of the discovery raised questions. It came right after rumors of stress, career pressure, and personal struggles began to surface. Insiders claimed Momoa had been going through an emotional phase, possibly channeling his inner turmoil into his art. Could the disturbing nature of the objects reflect that struggle? Or was it just a misunderstood attempt at finding peace in chaos? Either way, the discovery painted a much more complex picture of a man the world thought they already knew. Once major media outlets got hold of the story, it exploded across the internet. Headlines were dramatic. Jason Momoa's secret room found. Disturbing items in actor's mansion. And social media couldn't stop talking about it. Some YouTubers made entire videos analyzing the photos, while fans on Reddit shared theories ranging from dark rituals to hidden treasure. But what made things worse was Jason's silence. For weeks, he didn't say a word about it. No statements, no interviews, nothing. That silence made people even more curious. Was he embarrassed? Or was he protecting something private? When he finally broke his silence, he laughed off the rumors, saying that people had blown everything out of proportion. "It's just art," he said. But by that time, the internet had already built a dozen conspiracy theories around what art meant in Jason Momoa's world. Behind the headlines and rumors, there's something more human about the story. Fame can often turn even the most private moments into public drama. Jason Momoa, despite his strong personality, has always been honest about his struggles with fame. He's admitted to feeling isolated, misunderstood, and sometimes exhausted by public attention. Maybe that hidden room wasn't disturbing at all. Maybe it was his safe place. A personal retreat where he could disconnect from the world's noise. The carvings, the bones, the symbols, all could represent his connection to ancestry, loss, and identity. People often forget that celebrities are still human. They have emotions, memories, and ways of healing that others might not understand. In a way, the disturbing discovery inside Momoa's mansion could actually be a window into how he copes with the pressures of being a global star. Even after all the explanations, the mystery still lingers. People continue to wonder whether everything in that hidden chamber has truly been revealed. Some claim that not all of the photos taken by workers were released. Others believe there's more than one secret room in the mansion. Certain tabloid reports even mention that Momoa's property sits on land once used for ancient tribal ceremonies, giving the entire situation an even more mystical layer. Whether or not that's true, it adds an eerie element to the story. What's undeniable is that this discovery made people see Jason Momoa differently. Not just as an actor or celebrity, but as a man with secrets, depth, and stories untold. The mystery may never be completely solved, but it continues to capture the imagination of fans worldwide. There's something fascinating about how quickly people judge what they don't understand. When the news first broke, everyone wanted to believe the worst. But after a deeper look, many began to see the situation from another angle. Maybe what was found in Jason Momoa's mansion wasn't disturbing in the dark sense. It was disturbing because it showed raw human emotion. It revealed a part of someone's mind that is usually hidden behind fame and glamour. It reminded people that creativity can sometimes look strange or even frightening to those who don't share the same vision. Whether it was art, ritual, or just an unfinished project, the discovery invites us to question how easily we turn mystery into scandal. And maybe that's the real story here. Not what was found, but how we chose to see it. Today, Jason Momoa has moved on from the controversy. He continues to act, travel, and advocate for the environment with his signature passion. The mansion, though still whispered about online, has become part of his legend, a place where reality and mystery meet. In the end, what was found inside may never be fully understood by outsiders, but perhaps that's how it's meant to be. Everyone needs a space that belongs only to them, free from judgment. Whether disturbing or beautiful, it's a reflection of who they are. And in Jason Momoa's case, that reflection is wild, mysterious, and deeply human. What they found in his mansion might have shocked the world, but it also reminded us of something important. Behind every powerful image, there's a person with stories hidden far below the surface, stories we may never fully uncover. After the shocking discovery made headlines, things around Jason Momoa's mansion became eerily quiet. Neighbors reported seeing fewer people entering or leaving the property, and some even mentioned the presence of security vehicles parked outside for several days. It was clear that something behind the scenes was happening, something the public wasn't supposed to know. A few weeks later, there were rumors that Momoa had called in a group of restoration experts and cultural historians to inspect the items found inside the hidden chamber. The goal, according to one insider, was to determine whether the objects had any historical or sacred value. What surprised everyone was how serious Momoa seemed about protecting whatever was in that room. Rather than treating it as a scandal, he treated it like something deeply meaningful, almost sacred. This made people rethink what the disturbing part of the discovery truly was. Was it disturbing because of how it looked, or because of how powerful it was to him personally? To understand Jason Momoa's perspective, it's important to know his deep connection to his Hawaiian and Polynesian heritage. Throughout his life, he's spoken passionately about his ancestors, traditions, and respect for nature. Many of his tattoos and personal items represent gods, warriors, and protective spirits from his culture. So when people saw carvings and symbols inside his hidden room that looked strange or dark, they might have been misinterpreting sacred Polynesian symbols. What outsiders considered creepy could have been symbols of strength, rebirth, and balance. Cultural experts later explained that certain bone and skull decorations are not always morbid. They can symbolize respect for ancestors and the cycle of life. Momoa has always been vocal about breaking Western stereotypes about indigenous practices. To him, art made from natural materials, wood, bone, or stone, is not scary. It's spiritual. But unfortunately, in a world quick to sensationalize anything mysterious, these meanings often get lost. What some called disturbing, Jason might have considered beautiful. As more information surfaced, the internet became divided. Some people defended Jason fiercely, saying the media had twisted the story for clicks. They argued that calling something disturbing just because it's unfamiliar was unfair and disrespectful. Fans began trending hashtags like Respect Jason Momoa and Cultural Misunderstanding, demanding the public see the discovery for what it truly was, art and heritage. On the other side, skeptics continued to insist that the story wasn't as innocent as it sounded. They pointed out that the original photos, though never officially released, showed objects arranged in patterns too deliberate to be random. Some users claimed the carvings had a cult-like symmetry, suggesting ritual intent. Others questioned why Momoa would hide such a space in the first place if it was harmless. Why not just include it in his home's design openly? The argument split fans, with one side defending cultural respect and the other chasing a sense of Hollywood mystery. Either way, the story refused to die down. When Jason finally spoke in a rare interview months later, he didn't shy away from addressing the situation. He said he was hurt but not surprised by how people reacted. "We live in a world where people fear what they don't understand," he said calmly. "Everything in that room is part of who I am. My art, my ancestors, my story." His voice carried emotion as he explained that the chamber was his creative and spiritual refuge, a space to connect with his roots away from fame. He also admitted that he had kept it secret not because he was hiding something evil, but because it was personal. "Not everything is meant to be public," he said. "Some things are sacred." His honesty touched many fans and even softened some critics. People began to see the story less as a scandal and more as a reminder of how quick the world can be to misunderstand someone's truth. Even after Momoa's explanation, the fascination never fully faded. In fact, the mystery only grew stronger. Some viewers compared the story to ancient myths, heroes building secret chambers to hold symbols of their power or protect sacred relics. Others linked it to Hollywood's obsession with secrecy and the unknown. There's something timeless about hidden rooms. They represent the human desire to keep a piece of the soul untouched by the outside world. In a sense, Momoa's mansion became a metaphor for this very idea. His secret space reminded people that everyone, no matter how famous, hides something within themselves. A memory, a wound, a story. Maybe that's why the discovery captured so much attention. It wasn't just about what was found in his house. It was about what it revealed about human nature itself. We're drawn to mystery because it reflects the parts of ourselves we keep hidden. As months passed, major media outlets began re-evaluating their coverage. Some journalists admitted that the story had been exaggerated. What started as a small renovation discovery had turned into a global dark mystery overnight. The headlines, though catchy, had blurred the line between truth and drama. It became a textbook example of how media can shape public opinion, how a few emotional words like disturbing or secret chamber can turn a private story into an international sensation. Momoa's situation sparked conversations about media ethics and the fine line between curiosity and intrusion. It reminded the public that not every